and welcome
to Sort of the Story.
This is the podcast where I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
Yeah, and also you.
Yep.
I'm so tired.
And also you are here.
Welcome. We're going to tell each other some stories that we read this week.
Yeah, and you get to listen.
Lucky you son of a bitch.
You lucky sons of bitches.
I'm sorry, did you pay your fee to come to this fine party? It's just fine.
You have to go to bed.
I do. Max and I saw John Mulaney on Friday. That's a highlight. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend it. We had a great time. And I've got I only have one episode left of Designing Anna. So that's the highlights of my week.
I didn't even know you were watching that. Did you start last night?
I started last night, and then I stayed awake printing all night. I went to sleep at 6:30. Most of my prints are misprints, but I almost finished Designing Anna, and it's wonderful.
I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, because I was like, I'm going to get up.
You guys woke up as I was going into my bedroom.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to find my story for the podcast. I'm going to edit the podcast, and I have to call the car dealership because I bailed on an appointment earlier this week, and then I'm going to go grocery shopping. And so far, I have made breakfast and found my story for the podcast, and it's been so many hours. I fully spent the first, 6 hours of the day just on my phone being like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Not a morning person.
Nope.
Okay.
Waste of time.
Well, you know what? We've had eventful weeks and days. You want to just jump right into it?
Yeah.
Hop into it like a bunny?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, I've got a really fucked up one for you. It's so fucked up. I can't wait to tell you.
I'm so excited.
Let's
Let's get to it.
All right, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Maxo? Right. Okay.
Doing great already.
I know, we're doing it. So I'm coming back to you with another Grimm Brother classic. I always say Grimm's Brother instead of Grimm Brothers.
Well, I mean, it is one Grimm's brother and also the other Grimm's brother. They're each other's
There's
brothers.
no S at the end of Grimm.
Yeah. Well, if you're like Jacob Grimm's brother.
You wouldn't put the apostrophe S at the end of Grimm if brother is after it, though. You would put it after the brother.
What? No.
They come as a duo. And so the duo,
but
the
it's
Grimm brothers.
Two Grimm's brothers of each other.
You'd be like one of the Grimm brothers. Or you'd be like...
Yeah, but I'm saying like Jacob Grimm's brother, the other one.
I'm sorry. Can you please say Jakob?
No.
Max, can you please say it the way that it was intended?
If you can tell me the other one's name.
Willem.
You're making that up.
I'm not. It's Wilhelm. Wilhelm.
Wilhelm?
Willem. It's Willem.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's Jakob and Willem.
Willem Grimm's brother. And...
He's not Grimm's. He's a Grimm.
I'm saying he is Willem Grimm's brother.
Oh, Jakob is Willem Grimm's brother.
Yeah, and then...
You would say...
Willem is Jakob Grimm's brother.
Can you stop saying Jakob? You sound crazy. It's Jacob.
You son of a bitch. Well, we can safely cut all of that.
Not a single line is getting cut. You can go fuck yourself. I've decided to lean into being tired, and now I'm a bitch.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. That's why. That's what's happening. Only today. Okay, so this is another story from the Brothers Grimm.
Okay.
Not the Brothers Grimms. This is called the Juniper Tree. This is the most fucked up story I think I've ever read. I stopped and I took a break last night because I was upset, and I was like, I'll just find my story now and then I'll take notes on it really quickly tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And it upset me. And of course, because it's me, I'm not going to go reading other stories. So I'm like, fuck it. This is the story Max is getting. So we've got a lot of content warnings for this story. So if you are particularly upset whenever you hear things like child abuse and cannibalism and possible Bible references, if you don't like German fairy tales, skip to Max's story. Apparently it's a delight.
It is.
But this one is not going to be fun. And here we go.
Okay.
This is called The Juniper Tree. So it starts out with a quote, or I start out with a quote, because it starts, "It is now long ago, quite 2,000 years."
Oh.
So close your eyes. Picture it. Right now, it is 2,000 years ago. Everyone's wearing itchy, scratchy wool, and there are no TVs.
Yeah, nobody even has a microwave.
Oh, fucking idiots. Haven't even invented microwaves yet.
Invent microwaves
How are you
already.
going to eat your frozen burritos, you
You
idiots? Good, I really feel like we're here now.
Mhm.
So, there's a rich man, and he has a pious wife,
Oh.
right? And they fuck constantly, but guess what? They don't have children. And that's really upsetting her, because she's like, ew, why am I doing this if not for the children?
Hate that.
And so every day, she cries and cries and cries, and she prays and prays and prays, and she's like, just bring me a baby. And the guy is like, yes, also me. I am also wanting a baby. Sure.
For sure.
He's doing the Bridgerton pull-out method without telling her. It's like really fucked up. It's what Bridgerton is based off of. They're praying and praying. And then in the backyard, or in the front yard, in the courtyard, there is a large juniper tree. And so one day, I don't know, man.
You can bone any time of the day or night.
Well, she's not boning under the juniper tree. She's a
I
pious
didn't
woman.
say she was. I'm saying you can bone daytime or nighttime. I'm assuming that's what's happening.
No, that's not what's happening.
Oh. Well, you said that they're boning all the time.
Okay,
So you're going to tell me they're not boning
in the
right
middle
now?
of my story, Max wants everyone to know that you can bone anytime. It's never from the story. Take that little nugget.
PSA.
Excuse me, can I tell my fairy tale, you
Public
weird
sex
horn dog?
announcement.
Max is out of control. So she's sitting under this large juniper tree, and she is paring an apple. Because she's cool as shit. She's got like a little knife,
I
and
think
she's
you mean appling an apple.
I don't, you son of a bitch. So she's paring an apple under this tree. I'm just gonna push through. And she cuts her finger, right? As so many of these fairy tales start with, she cuts her finger, and it's also snowing outside, so like, why is she sitting outside paring an apple? Like, just like, go inside. Use your microwave, you stupid bitch.
You idiot.
And so she cuts her finger, and blood falls on the snow, right? And she looks at the snow, and much like the story of Snow White, right?
Mhm.
She sees the blood on the snow, and she's like thinking what we're all thinking. God, I wish my kid looked like that.
Sure.
The exact quote is, if I had but a child as red as blood and as white as snow. What's that mean?
What?
She literally says, I wish my kid looked like this.
I like my children like I like my snow. An
Covered in-
endless white expanse glittering in the sun, dabbled with a single spot of my own blood,
Yeah.
rapidly freezing in the night air.
Classic children. So,
The
she's like, I wish my kid looked like that. And then she goes back inside. So in 1 month, the snow is gone. In 2 months, everything turns green. In 3 months, a bunch of flowers pops up, right? She's like, beautiful. In 4 months, the trees are thicker and the birds start singing, right? And she's like, oh, nice. Love this. This is how
Golf
spring
clap.
happens. Good job, birds. 5 months pass. And she's standing under the sweet-smelling juniper tree, and she feels really happy and content. She's like, oh, I feel really good. In 6 months, the juniper fruit gets really large and fine, right? And she's starting to get kind of anxious.
Juniper fruit?
It's juniper berries, but I think it says fruit in the story, so I wrote down fruit. Because they say berries in the next line.
I was picturing an apple.
Juniper apples,
Really
you know.
confusing.
In 7 months, she snatches the berries and eats them, right? But they make her really sick, and she's just filled with sorrow. Like, but it's all she's craving are these berries that make her sick. And she's like, I hate this. This is terrible. You did this to me, to the tree.
That's how I feel every time I drink gin. I'm like, damn you, juniper berries. I just can't stop.
I just can't stop. In 8 months, she calls her husband to her, and she cries, and she says, if I die, bury me beneath this tree. And he's like, whoa, okay, deal. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay. And then she feels better again. She got her death plan done. 2,000 years ago was a different time. They didn't have microwaves, so they had to entertain themselves with thoughts of their own mortality.
Yes, to-do list. Slice an apple. Prepare for your own death.
Yeah. In 9 months, she has the child, and it is as white as snow and red as blood. Don't know what that means.
Which parts of it are which?
Thank you. Yes. And she's delighted, right? And she specifically says, like, oh my god, she's delighted like one time and then she dies. So she's not a main character.
Okay.
The husband buries her beneath this tree and he weeps. But eventually he gets over it and he decides to remarry. So he has a daughter with his second wife. And the first wife, the baby that's as white as snow and as red as blood. the first wife had a son, right? And now he has his new wife, and he has a daughter pretty close after. The new wife, we'll call her new wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I'll just switch to woman because you know the other one's dead, so it'd be weird if she came back. So the new wife loves her daughter, right? Just like absolutely adores this little girl. But she hates this son. Like, hates him. Like, she looks at him with such hate, and there's like this voice whispering in the back of her head at all times that's like, he's gonna get in the way. All of this inheritance, you married a rich man and you had a kid with him, and now this fucking child over here is gonna steal her inheritance, and he's going to steal all of her glory. And so this makes the woman fucking hateful. And they mention and she also, now she starts being really fucked up to him, so she's constantly, like, putting him in corners, or, like, slapping him, or, like, cuffing him, abusing him.
Yeah.
Until he's, like, a pretty fearful kid, and he, like, darts out of the woods like that. Like, he breaks my heart. He makes me very sad. They talk about her as if she's possessed. Just so you know, she may or may not be possessed. Actually, she is, because it says the evil one. And the evil one is capital letters, like, title. The evil one filled her mind with this till she was quite wroth with the little boy, and then she just abuses him a bunch. So one day, the daughter, she comes to her and she says, "Mama, can I have an apple?" And she's like, "Oh, yes." And so she takes her to the heavily locked apple chest. It's made out of glass.
We all have an apple vault.
But it is, though. It's a chest that's huge. It's filled with red apples, and it's glass, but it's super heavy, and it's very sharp. And it has an iron padlock on it that makes it heavier. And that's where they keep their apples. Like, how uncommon are apples?
Also, I feel like that's bad for the apples. You trap them in there like that, they're going to release those gases that they release when they start to ripen, and then they're going to rot.
Yeah, but this little girl loves apples, so maybe they just go through them so fast that they're like, we have to keep these apples away from this terrible little girl.
Vault of apples.
So she's like, "Mama, can I please get into the apple bank? Have but one apple." And the woman's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So she goes and she takes her big key and she unlocks the apple vault. And she opens the chest and she hands her the apple. And as soon as she gets it, this little girl who loves her brother is like, "Is my brother gonna get one too, though? Am I like, you're not just giving me one, right?" And the mom's like, "Fucking shit, that little asshole." So the mom gets pissed just at the mention of this little boy. She's like, "How dare you?" But she also loves her daughter, so she's like, "You know what? Yeah." And it also says the evil one, like, starts whispering in her ear, and she's like, yeah, he's gonna get one of these apples. Here, give it back to me. And she, like, snatches it away from this little girl. She goes, "You can't have one until he gets one, actually." And the little girl's like, "Okay."
Weird energy, Mom.
That's not what I asked. All right. There's many apples in the apple vault. We can both have an apple. So, she takes it away and she puts it back in the chest. And she goes, when he gets home from school, then he can have an apple. I like that 2,000 years ago, they had, like, daily school and, like, ages. I don't know. It just seems weirdly modern that he goes to school every day. You think that would be, like, a homeschooling thing. So she's like, when he gets home from school, then she looks outside the window and she sees him coming. And it says, it's as if the devil entered into her. So she sees him coming in, right? He walks into the door and she's like, "Hey, come here." And he, like, walks up to her and she's like, "Do you want an apple?" He's like, "Oh." And he sees something change in her eyes and he's like, "Hi, mother. You look crazy." Like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Nothing. Take the goddamn apple." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, I would love an apple. Like, sure, thank you." Like, he's afraid to say no to her. And so she's like, "Cool, go get it your goddamn self." And he's like, "What is this?" What is this?
I didn't even ask for an apple.
Like, dude, I'm just here to do my homework. My life sucks. So, this story is bad, just so you know. There's no way to really prepare you for this. Just know that I read this at 5 o'clock this morning all by myself. Mm-hmm. So, she takes him to the chest, right? And it's open, and she's like, "Go grab your apple." And he leans down. He's like, "Okay." So he stoops down to get the apple. And she slams the top of this glass chest on top of him and cuts off his head.
What the shit? And she ruined all the apples.
The devil prompted her. She slammed the heavy lid down on him. His head flew off and fell among the red apples. So she gets nervous. As soon as she does it, she's like, "Oh no, people are going to blame me."
For the thing that I did just
for
now.
decapitating my stepson. So she opens the chest, she grabs his head, she takes like a silk handkerchief. It's a white handkerchief, which is a bad choice, but she basically ties his head back to his body, and she props him up on the couch, and she puts the apple in his head, so it looks like he's just sitting there, like Weekend at Bernie's style, just eating an apple. She's like, good, no one will notice. And then she goes and she starts to prepare dinner. And so her daughter, who at this point, and I think the brothers Grimm need an editor, because at this point we find out that this little girl has a name, it's Marlinchin. But they were like, and then Marlinchin comes in. And I'm like, who is Marlinchin? It took me like 5 lines to figure out that Marlinchin is the name of the little girl from before. Like, what the fuck? She's the only named person in the story as well, which is odd. What's so special about Marlinchin? So Marlinchin comes in and she's like, Mama, my brother is sitting on the couch. Right? And he has an apple. And I said, can I have some? I was actually the one that asked for the apple. And she said that you had to have one first. So can I have like a bite? And he didn't answer me. Like, he's ignoring me. What the hell? I spoke up for him and I wanted him to have an apple too. And now he won't even talk to me? What the shit? And so the mom is like, oh, listen, go back and ask him again. And this time, if he doesn't answer you, box him in the ears. Really show him who's boss. Like, make him give you that apple. And little girl's like, fine. Which, like, fuck you, lady. You don't love your daughter.
Yeah.
So the little girl goes up and she's like, can I have an apple? No? Smack. And his head flies across the room. And she's like, and so something just horrific just happened to Marlinchin. So Marlinchin comes back and she's like, Mom! I hit him too hard and I knocked off his head. And so the mom's like, what did you do? No, but you loved your brother. Like, I can't believe you would do that. So now this little girl's like fucking traumatized. She's like, I didn't mean to. And she's like, well, we're going to have to hide the body or else they're going to take you to jail. She's like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this woman sucks. And so she takes it. She goes, don't worry. We're going to hide the body by making it into a stew. No one will know. And the little girl's like, please don't. And the mom takes the boy's body. She chops it up. She puts it in a stew. The entire time, Marlinchin is just sobbing, right? She never stops crying.
Why didn't she just chop him up and put him in the stew before her daughter got home?
She wanted an accomplice.
Yes.
She wanted somebody else to share this weird guilt. And so Marlinchin's crying the whole time. That night, the father comes home from work, and he's like, honey, I'm home. Where's my son? And she's like, don't worry about it. He's like, no, where'd he go? Like, where is he? I'm looking around for him, and I don't... Where'd he go? And she's like, oh, he told me that he wanted to go visit his great uncle across the country, so I just sent him out. He wants to be there for 6 weeks. Don't worry about it. And the dad's like, yeah, that's not normal. He doesn't just leave. He's a child.
You can just send a child across the country.
I know this is 2,000 years ago, but, like, that's not something we do.
And he says that.
And he does. It's really weird. He's a time traveler. It's a very Belle Gadus, like, serial killer thing. Who else? Not the Ken and Barbie killers, but Paul Bianchi. Carla Homolka. They did the same thing where the daughter went missing and they were like, oh, she went and visited her real mom in Scotland. Don't worry about that. Like, she'll be back really soon. And it's like, that was the story they give. So, like, this lady came up with it first. Trailblazer. And so she...
Girl bossing.
And so he's like, I'm upset with my son. He didn't say goodbye or anything. Like, that's really weird. And mom's like, no, don't worry about that. He'll be okay. But here is your soup. And she puts the soup down in front of him and stares at him too hard, like, doesn't blink. He can see the whites on the top and bottom of her eyes. At which point he looks at Marlinchin and he's like, huh, hey Marlinchin, why are you crying so hard? She's just sitting at the table openly weeping. And so then he's like, well, whatever. And he eats the bowl, right? He eats the whole bowl of soup. He doesn't eat the bowl, he just eats the soup. And as he's eating it, he's throwing the bones under the table. Who raised him? Like, this is his house. But he's throwing the bones under the table.
Does he think that he has a dog?
He must. That woman decapitated that dog weeks ago. So he eats it, right? And as he's eating it, he's getting more and more obsessed with the soup. He's like, woo. The more he eats, the more he wants. And so this is a quote, give me some more. You shall have none of it. It seems to me as if it were all mine. This family sucks. So he's Jesus. Like, no one can have any soup. I love it. And he eats every single, drop of this soup. Marlinchin, meanwhile, is under the table weeping and gathering up all the bones as if they're the bones of her dead brother.
As if.
And he's not even flinching. He's like, Marlingen, you're so silly. You're being real silly. And she takes all the bones. She takes like a silk handkerchief from like the bottom of her drawers, and she wraps all the bones together. And then she drags them all outside. And she lays down underneath the juniper tree, holding on to her silk handkerchief full of bones, and like just weeping bitterly. It says specifically, she carries him outside, weeping tears of blood.
Fuck. There's more problems here that I feel like this story is going to address.
Turns out Marlingen is a true blood vampire. Which is
Good
weird.
to know.
No
Minor
one seems
detail.
to notice. So she lays under the juniper tree, and suddenly she starts to feel better. Like, it's just a weird thing where this, like, sense of peace comes over her, and she stops crying.
Aromatherapy.
It is. The juniper tree. She's getting really drunk off of a juniper.
She's the first essential oil salesman.
Nice. Marlingen. You know, from trauma, births entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. When you grow up with traumatic events like this, it can be really hard to find a job. So what you need to do is be your own boss.
Be your own boss.
Work
Girl
from
boss.
home.
And girl bossing does run in her family. So she's crying her tears of blood, but they've started to like dissipate. She's feeling better. And then the tree starts to kind of move and shake. Specifically, the branches part, and then they snap back together. So
Like
the tree
clapping?
is slow clapping at her.
Well done.
Marlingen.
Slapped your own brother's head off.
Marlingen thinks she's so strong, she knocked her brother's head
She's dealing
across
with
the room.
finding out that she has Hulk powers. And starting her own business. It's a stressful day for
It's really
Marlingen.
weird because this is the exact premise for She-Hulk. So it starts to slow clap, and then from the center of the tree, like a mist begins to rise, and then the mist starts to burn like fire, and out from that mist, as she's watching, and she's like transfixed, a bird flies up from that mist, and it starts to sing majestically, and she's like, wow, that's what she said. Ooh. And so he flies high in the sky, and Marlingen looks down to see the handkerchief full of bones, and she realizes it's gone. And she feels so happy suddenly. She's like, oh, okay, I feel better. And then she goes back inside the house and eats dinner.
Eats dinner? What? Dinner?
The mom
Janey?
the mom only made one thing. Marlingen, did you forget?
Marlingen.
As long as there's not bones in it, I guess she's fine.
I don't think you have the acumen to start your own business, Marlingen.
That's not the last time I'm gonna say that people go back in and eat dinner. I think the story needs
same dinner.
The story needs a heavy editing. So the bird flies away. He goes to the goldsmith's house, right? And he sits outside the goldsmith's house and he starts to sing. This is the song he sings. I don't have a tune to it, so I'm just gonna read it.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's actually the theme to Space Jam. So the lines are, this is the song. My mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me. My sister, little Marlingen, gathered together all my bones, tied them in a silk handkerchief, laid them beneath the juniper tree. Coo-it, coo-it, what a beautiful bird am I. It's not like a good song.
It's just, come on and bones, a murder in my home.
My mother killed me, and then my father ate me. My sister threw my head across the room. And now I am a bird. Coo-it, coo-it, a good bird. Fucking bird. So... It's not like a good song, except that it is. The goldsmith actually comes out of his house and he's like, what beautiful music. Bird, repeat your tune so that I may dance. And the bird literally looks down and says, I don't sing twice for free, bitch. And the guy's like, oh, you want, like, payment? And he's like, yeah, cough it up. What am I over here? Like, what am I, a chump? And he's like, okay, hold on. Okay, I'll get it. So the goldsmith goes back inside. He brings out, like, a really nice gold chain. And he, like... hands it up, and the bird's like, thank you. My mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me.
Wait, hang on. A bird did swoop, retrieve me from the soup.
He leaves. The goldsmith
Beneath that tree, my sister cried for me.
So, crying tears of blood, by the way. Like, again, I'm not going to get over that. They pass through it as if that's a normal thing people in Germany did 2,000 years ago. And
there were a lot of infections going on.
That's true. She had syphilis of the tear ducts. So, the bird flies away wearing a gold chain, like he's from the fucking Godfather. And the goldsmith is like, yay, good job.
Like the Tasmanian devil in Space Jam.
So, he goes to the shoemaker's house. And the shoemaker hears him outside singing, my mother, she killed me, my father, he ate me, my sister, she threw my head across the room like a bowling ball. I wanted an apple, do-do-do, quit, I'm a beautiful bird. And the shoemaker, he runs outside, he's only wearing one shoe, and he's all like he's holding like
a bunch of extra shoes.
Yeah, he's wearing shoes around his arms. And he's like, oh my god, that was beautiful, but I only caught the end of it. Bird, sing again. And the bird's like, pay me, bitch. What am I? Like, what am I, a joke to you? I don't sing twice for free. And the guy's like, oh, okay, hold on. So he runs back inside and he grabs a beautiful pair of red slippers. And he brings them back out. And he holds them to the bird, and the bird's like, thank you. And he puts them on his little bird feet. He's like, oh, great. And then he sings again. And then he flies away after he sings his song the second time. And then he goes to the mill. By the way, I think I figured out what a mill is through no research, because I always forget to research this. But there are 20 miller's apprentices in there, and they're breaking stones. Millstones. I think it's a place where you break stones. That's a quarry.
There are different kinds of mills, but most mills are flour mills.
Oh. Okay, well, they're making flowers out of big old stones. So, flowers. So, he goes to there, the 20 miller's men are hewing a stone, and it specifically says it sounds like clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety. I'm the witch of the woods. Clickety, So that's what they're doing, too. They're having a good old time quoting the bitch. And he goes out and he starts to sing. And he's like, my mother, she killed me. And one miller stops, so he's like, clickety. And he's like, my father, he ate me. And two more miller's men are like, ah. And he's like, my little sister Marlinchin. And like 3 miller's men are like, sailors.
They'll start breakdancing in the background.
The Juniper Tree is still slow clapping to the beat.
They're just the backup dancers.
And this bird is wearing red shoes and a gold chain.
Is this a scene from Kazam?
Oh, this bird is Shaq. I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you. This bird might be Shaq only because the last miller's man, he's the last one to stop, and the bird has already finished the song. And he's like, wait, I didn't hear it! Sing it again! And the bird's like, what do you give me? I don't work for free. And they're like, do you want this stone? And the bird's like, what the fuck? Yes, I want that stone. And there's like a big hole in the middle of the stone.
How's he gonna carry the stone?
That's why
He doesn't have enough claws for this. He's got a chain on, and then he's got shoes on his feet.
I know.
And he's also holding a bag full of bones. How's he gonna carry a rock?
He's not holding a bag full of bones. The bones disappeared because of magic.
I thought he took them.
No.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
no.
well-
I think he might be the bones.
He's the bones?
I don't know. It doesn't say. Again, I take it up with the Grimm's brothers. He's like, yeah, I want it. So they take a big beam and they like put the stone at the end of it and they raise it up to the bird, and the bird puts his head through it, and he wears this giant heavy stone that like 20 men had to carry around his neck like a collar. And I'm like,
how big is this bird?
I don't know.
Godzilla?
I don't. Maybe. How big is this stone then? Anyway.
Size.
So, he flies back to the house wearing this stone like a collar after singing for a second time, doing his encore, and everybody claps. So then he flies back, and he sits outside the house, and he can see inside the house, the dad is sitting at the table, and he's like, I feel really lighthearted and great. Like, I feel almost as if I'm about to see an old friend again. You know that feeling? Like, I feel great. That was fantastic soup. And the mother is sitting at the table, and she's holding her head, and she's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. My head hurts so bad. Oh my god. Like, I feel like the house is on fire right now. Like, are you guys hot? I'm hot. So, like, she's having the worst day ever. Marlinchin is crying again. The good feeling when the trees clapped for her wore off, and now she's like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I killed my brother. So the bird begins to sing. He sings, my mother, she killed me, and the woman covers her ears and she shuts her eyes, and there's like a roaring in her head like a violent storm. And then he sings, my father, he ate me. And the man is like, whoa, look at that beautiful bird. I love his funny little song. Also, does the air smell like cinnamon? The dad is having a stroke.
Do you smell cinnamon when you have a stroke?
I do. I don't know what you smell.
How many strokes have you had?
Don't worry about it. Every day's like a little fall vacation. He says, my little sister Marlinchin, and the girl just starts to cry harder. And the man's like, I'm gonna go outside and see that bird. And the woman's like, don't go outside, please. But he goes out anyway, right? And he's like, look at that bird. The bird continues, gathered together all my bones, tied them in a silk handkerchief, laid them beneath the juniper tree. Coo-it, coo-it, what a beautiful bird am I. Welcome on in, jam.
And welcome to the jam.
I like this song better. Come on and jam, and welcome to the jam. I'm here to eat some jam. This door, it is jammed. So, the bird, as the dad goes out and he's looking up, the bird flies over him and he lets go of the gold chain. And the gold chain falls perfectly over the dad's head. And he's like, oh my god! Look what the bird gave me! And the dad's like delighted. He's like, look at
I'm
this
iced
gold
out
chain.
as fuck.
Yes, that feels great! And so, the bird sings again. And the man is like crying for everyone to come out and look at this pretty chain. And the woman is like, no, would that I were 1,000 feet beneath the earth so as not to hear that. So she's like really feeling this. Marlinchin, though, is like, I'll go out and see the bird. I could use some cheering up. I'm deeply traumatized and I'll never get over this. So she goes outside. And the bird drops down these pretty red shoes. And she's like, what? These are just my size. So she puts them on and she begins to dance. She forgets all her troubles. Thank you, bird. And so Marlinchin is dancing. So now the woman realizes, like, they both got presents. Maybe I'll get a present. Maybe I have been a good girl.
I have been a good girl.
So the woman goes out. And also the woman throughout this time has been like randomly fainting and then getting up and fainting again. Like she's just been having a hard time inside the house. She goes outside and she sees Marlinchin dancing. And as she goes outside, the bird flies above her and then drops the millstone down on her head and it immediately crushes her to death. The father and Marlinchin, they look and from where her body was, a bunch of smoke and fire starts to like rise up and they're like, oh, what's happening there? And they're both like decked out in their new bling and their new shoes and they're like, wow, what's happening here? Like, I can't believe that woman just died. And I'm like, that's not just a woman, that's your mom and your wife. But from there, out from the fire and the smoke, her body disappears and out pops the little brother. And he's fine. And he looks at his dad and which I got some thoughts about this because there was a lot of flames, the ground opened up and out from the earth rose a little boy. And he's like, father, sister, take my hands. And they take his hands and they all laugh. And then they go back into the house and they eat dinner.
Which is still him.
Yeah, also, didn't the dad eat it all? Did they make new dinner? Or are they all just continuing to eat him soup?
How?
So, okay, here's the first thing. I would never trust that little boy again.
No.
Like, she died. She was crushed by a bird. The ground opened up, flames came up, and smoke, and from that spot just stood a perfectly intact little boy that the sister knows was decapitated.
Yeah, by her earth-shattering smack.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the juniper tree. Fucked up.
The juniper tree wasn't even a major part of that.
What do you mean it clapped for her? It was like her biggest fan.
The juniper tree is just the audience.
Yeah, it's us. In a way, we're all the juniper tree.
I don't want to be the juniper tree.
There's a couple interpretations of this. One in particular that I thought you would be interested in. Maria Tatar, who is the woman who wrote Heroine with 1001 Faces, which is an amazing book that Max got me for Christmas. She wrote a book on like folklore and fables and like just in general like a critique of them. And she talks about how this is obviously an evil stepmother trope. She goes into like the whole idea of evil stepmothers, how originally, I don't know if she talks about this because I haven't read her book, but this book that it's from, I mean, but she talks about how, or I know that stepmothers were not stepmothers to begin with, they were mothers. And then people were like, actually, we shouldn't tell children that their mothers are going to cook and eat them, so then they turned it into stepmothers. Like, don't worry, it's just like another type of mother, not your mom. Your
it's
mom's
not
great.
your real mom.
She's not your real mom. So, yeah, she also talks about the biblical references. So specifically, she says, Luke 17:2 says that anyone who causes a child to sin would be better off being thrown into the sea with a millstone about his neck. So this is like a direct, I think, call to like not abuse your children.
Sure.
And then it says another biblical connotation could be the offering of the apple from the stepmother. I also recently read that apparently there's a lot of arguments about whether or not the Grimm brothers actually went collecting folklore or if they were actually making up most of their folklore. And this is one of the ones that people are like, yeah, this is not from German folklore. This is the Brothers Grimm, which I think is interesting. I haven't gone into it, but I do want to know more. I didn't realize that people disputed that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
interesting.
And the last thing, J.R.R. Tolkien wrote an essay about this. It's called On Fairy Stories, and he cited the Juniper Tree as an example of the evils of censorship for children. He said, listen, these fairy tales, if you're going to censor some things, don't tell them the fairy tales. That's it. If you're going to, like, water them down, they were written for everyone, and if you don't think kids can handle it, then don't read it to them. But don't censor them, Disney. Yeah. And so he was, like, deeply against that. He was like, no, leave in the body mutilation. I want children to see it. And this is Arne Thompson Uther type 720. Specifically, mother killed me, father ate me. And there's a long list of stories that fall into this.
Huh. I was thinking, it reminded me of, I don't think we've done it on the podcast, but you've told the story of the singing bone before. It reminded me of that, the woman who was killed or something, and then...
The brother kills his little brother. The older brother kills his little brother because he's jealous and he wants to win a competition. And so he does. He murders his brother, he throws him off a bridge, and then leaves his body there. And years later, after the older brother has won this competition, is married to the princess, is, like, living his best life, a random man, like a traveling musician who had broken his, like, trumpet, or his bugle or whatever, is walking and he finds a bone, and the bone fits in, it's like a mouthpiece, but it fits into his trumpet perfectly somehow. So he's like, oh, great. And he goes to the king and he's like, let me play you a little ditty. And as he starts to blow into this mouthpiece, it starts to sing, and it's like, my brother, he killed me, he threw me off the bridge. It's like a weird confession. He's like, he left my body there and I've been there for 20 years and I'm actually the one that won this competition. And the king is like, oh, weird. Play that song again? And the brother's like, no, don't play it. It's fine. It was a terrible song. Ugh, bah, get out of here. And he, like, blows into his trumpet again, and he's like, my brother, he killed me, and he threw me off a bridge. It's a singing bone.
It's a bop.
It is. It's pretty good. My brother, he killed me. He threw me off a bridge. Come on and jam. And welcome to the jam.
Yeah, that was...
The idea of singing confessions from weird things.
And bones.
Yeah. Bones.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the Juniper Tree. Fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't abuse your children.
Don't do that.
And don't hit people in the head. You might knock their heads clear off their bodies.
Yeah, and make sure that if you have a safe full of apples, that it has slow closing hinges, because that's really dangerous.
Yeah, you're really gonna want to, like, child-proof your apple safe.
Yeah.
Kids can get hurt in there very easily. I think that's the lesson we can take away from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important part, for sure.
Also, this is just a hope for all of you guys who I know could be, you know, hoping for children and stuff like that. I really hope that they turn out as red as blood and as white as snow. However you want that to work. I hope your kid looks like bloody snow. Good night. Okay, bye.
Well, there's another story.
Okay, bye.
We're gonna take a break.
Bye.
We're so tired. All right.
Welcome back.
Hey, gang.
Hey, you guys okay? Did you have a good break?
Did you take a nap? All right. So today I'm telling you a story called The Witch of Fife.
Ooh, okay.
It came to me from a collection of stories called Celtic Tales, Fairy Tales and Stories of Enchantment from Ireland, Scotland, Brittany, and Wales. It's a collection that comes from a couple of different places, but this edition is illustrated by Kate Forrester. Really, really beautiful art. The book was originally published under the same title, The Witch of Fife, by Elizabeth Grierson in the Scottish Fairy Book in 1910. That edition is illustrated by Morris Meredith Williams, And just the pull quote for the cover of that book, which is from before we had like a standardized, commonly available dictionary, I guess.
Yeah.
The pull quote is from Gavin Douglas, and it says, "Of brownies and bogalies full this book." And book is spelled B-U-K-E.
Boogalies.
A boogalies is Scots term for like a phantom or ghost
like
or mischievous. Yeah. A boggle or bogle or bogil is a Scots term for a ghost or folkloric being.
Oh.
And the Wikipedia article, which I just looked up, said, used for a variety of related folkloric creatures, including shellycoats, barguests, sprags, and the headley cow. And even giants such as those associated with Cobb's Causeway, also known as Ettins, Yettins, or Jotens.
Oh.
Which is just a bunch of words that I love.
Yettins, Jotens, brownies, and boogalies. We have a boogalie in our house.
We do have a boogly in our house. Yeah, and it's great. The full text of the original from Elizabeth Grierson is available on Project Gutenberg for free. So you can read this story and all the other books, all the other stories in the Scottish Fairy Book.
Gutenberg. Is that run by Steve Gutenberg?
It's not.
Is it his fairy tale collective?
No, it's the Gutenberg Printing Press is where they get their name, but they have a bunch of...
So Steve Gutenberg runs the printing press, and then I get it.
That sure is what it is.
He was really great in It Takes Two, the Olsen twin movie with Kirstie Alley.
So that story by Elizabeth Grierson in the Scottish Fairy Book is based on a comic narrative poem by James Hogg. It's written in Scots, so if you look it up, it is very fun to read and borderline impenetrable, because Scots is the Scottish dialect of English, which is just a bunch of... basically, if you picture someone writing down words in like a Scottish brogue, that's what it looks like, and it is nonsense. I love it. It's like it's like trying to read Old English where you're like, what's that?
This almost looks like words.
Yeah. James Hogg lived from 1770 to 1835. This book was probably written in 1812. This poem, rather, is from a selection of poems called The Queen's Wake, which is a very long, like, epic narrative poem that James Hogg wrote, where a series of bards compete to tell stories to Mary Queen of Scots. So... that's just where this story comes from. It has a long and storied history as part of like the Scottish folkloric tradition. From what I can tell, it's a pretty well-known story, but I thought it was very fun. So
I've never heard of it.
The Witch of Fife. Once upon a time.
Okay. 2,000 years ago, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Also, I should clarify, Fife is one of the kingdoms in Scotland. It's where the seat of the Scottish government was for a very, very long time, up until like the past 150 years or so. I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know the history. But
okay. Well, you really did confidently give us some dates. So
I did. I didn't write. I don't know. County Fife. And again, this story comes from the 2016 Chronicle Books collection of Celtic tales illustrated by Kate Forrester. Previous to that, it is the Scottish Fairy Book, 1910, and previous to that, 1812, James Hogg's collection, The Queen's Wake. So, our tale begins in County Fife, Scotland.
Oh.
An old man and his wife lived in County Fife.
Oh.
And it rhymes.
Cool.
And
she had a knife and took his life.
And that's the end of our tale.
And then he ate his son and his sister.
No. And then they went to the jam.
Oh my god, I know this song.
So there's this old man, this old woman. All of the people in County Fife suspect, or in the town in County Fife is massive, suspect that this woman is a witch.
Sure.
The man also suspects that his wife is a witch.
And he's into it.
Yeah, because every once in a while she'll just go out for the night, and he tries to follow her, and he can't figure out where, like, she slips him every time, and then she comes back first thing in the morning looking, like, pale and exhausted. Which to me sounds like she's out partying with the gals, but...
She was just out dancing. Of course, out dancing with the gals means you're a witch.
That's true. So he keeps trying to, like, figure out what she's doing, and he can't do it. And so finally, like, the rumors get to him, and he's like, I'm just going to ask her.
Yeah.
So he goes to his wife, and he's like...
Open communication.
Yeah. He goes to his wife, and he's like, hey, you a witch? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh. Shit, okay. And she's like, yeah, I'm a witch. Yeah. You have to keep it a secret, though, okay? Because, like, we still do, like, witch burnings here in this time.
Yeah.
So don't tell anyone. And if you keep it a secret, and you're a good boy, then I'll tell you. Next time I go out in the middle of the night, I'll tell you what I do.
Oh.
And he's like, okay, well, I would probably also be burned as a witch if I told anyone that you're a witch. So, yeah, I can keep a secret. And she's like, great.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
So.
And then they boned, because you can bone any time of the day.
You can bone any time of day or night.
So
if you have a consenting partner and a semi-private space, you can bone any time.
It was mid-afternoon, guys. These sluts. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it was afternoon tea.
Woo!
So a couple weeks pass, and the time comes of the new moon, which, as everyone knows, is the time when witches be witchin'.
Yeah.
And so she's like, all right, so I'm going to go do some witch stuff.
Sure.
I'll be back in the morning. And he's like, okay, have fun. Bye. Bye. And so she goes off, and he sort of, like, has a hard time sleeping because he's like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. Like, I bet it's something super fun. And then she comes back in the morning, and he's like, tell me everything. What did you do all night while you were out being a witch? And again, this is available public domain through Project Gutenberg, so I'm just going to go ahead and read this because there's no way to summarize it. And when he asked her where she had been, she told him in great glee how she and 4 like-minded companions had met at the old kirk on the moor. Kirk is a church.
Sure.
The old church on the moor, and had mounted branches of the green bay tree and stalks of hemlock, which had instantly changed into horses.
Oh.
So the sticks turn into horses.
Sure.
And then how they had ridden swift as the wind over the country, hunting the foxes and the weasels and the owls. They're going for a hunt. And also all those animals are really fast and tough to catch.
Yeah.
So they're on these like wooden stick horses, and they're chasing all of these animals.
Yeah.
And how at last they had swam the Forth, which is a river in Scotland that goes from the North Sea to the Firth of Forth, which is a fjord. And I'm not kidding. The Firth of Forth, a fjord.
Sure.
In Fife.
Oh my god, I love this story so much.
This is a real place.
Okay.
None of that is actually said in the story. I was like, oh, what's a Forth? And I looked it up, and they were like, oh, the Firth of Forth. And I was like, what's the Firth of Forth? And they were like, a fjord in Fife. Google, what the fuck? So
Hey, if you live in Scotland and you want to, like, invite us into your home, thanks. Do it. We want to come to your home to see the Firth of Forth and the fjord in Fife. Thank you.
So, and how at last they had swam the Forth and come to the top of Bell Lomond, which I think is intended to be Ben Lomond, which is a large mountain that overlooks Loch Lomond.
Sure. Yeah. No,
which is
I know these words.
A big lake.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you explained it for them. I knew words.
A loch is a lake.
A loch is a lake.
A kirk is a church.
A kirk is a church. No.
The Forth in Fife is the Firth at the fjord. And we're all learning Scots.
I'm being Scottish now.
I think so. And so they swam this river, and then they came to the top of Ben Lomond, which is a massive mountain overlooking the lake of Loch Lomond.
Sure.
The ATM machine.
What?
ATM machine, automatic teller machine.
Sure.
Machine. When you say ATM machine, it's like
oh
redundant.
my god, okay.
Yeah, the lake of Loch Lomond is redundant.
Your brain is going a little faster than my brain. I was like, there's also an ATM machine at Loch Lomond?
Yeah, the ATM machine at the lake of Loch Lomond by the church on the kirk on the moor. In the Firth of Forth. In the fjord of Fife. None of this is part of the story.
This is like that song, you know, that there's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
I was thinking that this whole time I was reading this story. I'm so sorry.
This is delightful. Okay, go ahead.
So, they came to the top of Ben Lomond, and when they were there, they had dismounted from their horses, and they had drunk beer that had been brewed in no earthly brewery, out of horn cups that had been fashioned by no mortal hands.
So they got some puddle water.
No. No, they got, like, angel beer or something.
Okay.
It's not explained what hands fashioned these horns or by what method this beer was brewed, but it's beer brewed of no earthly brewery.
It's beer brewed in Ben
and
Lomond.
Horns and honed by no hand of man.
By no human hands.
Yeah. It's
in the fjord and the Fife and the Forth and the...
None of this is in the text of the story, I have to reiterate. And so they drank all this beer, and how after that a wee man had jumped up from under a great mossy stone, and with a tiny set of bagpipes under his arm, and how he had piped such wonderful music that at the sound of it the very trouts jumped out of the loch below, and the stoats crept out of their holes, and the corby crows and the herons came and sat on the trees in the darkness to listen, and how all the witches danced until they were so weary that when the time came for them to mount their steeds again, they would be home before the cock crow. They could scarce sit on them for fatigue.
Okay.
So they partied all night, drank a bunch of beer, tiny man jumped out, played the bagpipes, made all the fish jump out of the loch, and then they got back on their stick horses and
make a
went
note
home.
of this, 5405. This is what I want to do for my birthday. I figured it out, sorry.
Yes. So they do all that, and then they're back home in time for the cock crow, which is the crack of dawn when the cock crows, as you can probably imagine. So the witch tells her husband all of this, and he's like, that's crazy.
Oh no.
He says,
he doesn't seem impressed.
He's not. And he says, and what the better are ye for all your dancing? Ye'd have been a deal more comfortable at home.
Oh no.
Apologies for my very offensive Scottish accent, but he's basically like, okay, so, and why did you do that?
It obviously sounds very fun. Sir,
Yeah.
you couldn't have done all this at home with me. No.
Why would you drink beer with a little man who lives under a rock and watch the trouts jump out of the loch? If there's a comfy bed at home, here, we could just read in front of the fire.
Oh no, I'm kind of on his side. I hate leaving the house.
He didn't have to leave the house. Anyways. So,
this is
she's like...
this is like the first story that explains, like, extroverts and introverts really well.
It's not. He's just a wet blanket.
All right.
He's a bummer.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, because I wanted to and I had fun, and he's like, fine, whatever. I was kind of hoping for a juicier story when you said that you would tell me what you did all those nights, but I guess it's fine that you were just out partying with the gals. So a month passes, and at the next new moon, his wife says, I am going out again to do, some stuff. So I'll tell you what I did when I get back in the morning. And he's like, okay, well, I guess do something useful with your time if you can. And she's like, well, bye.
Like, my husband's really ruining my witching.
Yeah. So at the next new moon, she goes out for the night. She comes back in the morning, and the husband is like, what did you do last night? And she says that she and her friends, who are all witches, took cockleshell boats.
Yeah.
And they rowed these cockleshell boats all the way to Norway.
Oh.
And then they got out of the water. They jumped on invisible horses, and they rode the horses all the way to the Laplands, which are in Finland.
Yeah.
I looked it up to see how far it is to get from County Fife to the Laplands in Finland. It is effectively going from the southwest corner of Europe to the northeast corner.
Oh, shit.
The drive, according to Google Maps, is a 45-hour drive nonstop.
Can I tell you, I'm TikTok friends with a really wonderful woman who breeds and herds reindeer in Lapland. And I know more about Lapland than I ever knew before, only because I didn't know anything about Lapland before, and now we're friends. It makes me really happy.
I love it. Yeah, so she and her friends take these invisible horses up to the land of the Laps, as they say.
Sure.
And when they get there, it says that in the story. I wouldn't say it if not for the... So they get up to the Laplands, and there's a massive festival.
Yeah.
And at the festival are all these elves and fairies and mermaids of the north, warlocks, brownies, pixies, and phantom hunters, quote, who are never looked upon by mortal eyes, no further explanation, and the witches of Fife. So all of these, like, magical creatures from, like, all around Europe are at this massive festival, and they all feast and they dance and they sing. And the witches of Fife, speaking to their magical cohort, learn some magic words of power from their new friends.
Yeah.
And they learn words that help them to sail through the sky and, like, unlock doors, which is great. I love that they hung out with all their friends and they were like, cool, so here's flight, and then the second thing that you'll need, which is breaking and entering.
Lockpicking. Ever heard of it?
More like lockpicking.
Oh.
And then they, like, feasted and danced some more, and then the witches of Fife came back home, right?
Yeah.
Once the festival was over, got back in time for the cockcrow in the morning.
That's so cool.
And the husband, hearing of this cool magic festival, says, what took you to sicken a land as that? Such a land as that? What took you to a place like that? You would have been a sight warmer in your bed. It's like,
Sir.
why would you go there when you could have been in bed?
She was in bed all month.
So she's like, well, I had a good time, so I don't know. Why are you? I didn't come here for judgment, okay? Me and the gals do what we want.
Yeah.
And he's like, ugh, whatever. So another month passes. At the next new moon, she meets up with her friends again in a normal way. They like walk to each other's houses because they all live in the same town.
Yeah.
They walk to their one friend's house and they're hanging out. And they're just like, witchy stuff, woo.
Love these
Girls' night in.
Yeah.
And they're just chatting, and they mention, one of them has heard this rumor, that the Lord Bishop of Carlisle has recently come into possession of some very fine and rare wine, which he's keeping in his wine cellar.
Oh,
and they're like,
girl.
should we be bad? Let's be bad.
Oh, they have that lock picking.
Yes.
Ugh.
So all these gals climb into the chimney, and they put their feet up on the bar that holds the cauldron up in the chimney, and they say the magic word that gives them flight. And they shoot up out of the chimney in a cloud of smoke and fly across the land to the home of the Lord Bishop of Carlisle and shoop down his chimney in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And they sneak over to his wine cellar and they say the magic words to open the locks on the wine cellar. And they go in, and all these witches get fucked up on fancy wine in this guy's wine cellar. But they're careful because they know that they have to be out before morning when the servants come and like clean everything up and prepare for lunch.
Yeah.
So they're careful, they don't overdo it. They make sure that they're sober enough to,
I love these girls.
Don't drink and fly, guys.
Yeah.
So they make sure that they're sober enough to get home. And then, before dawn, they all clean up their mess and go back out of the wine cellar, lock the doors, go over to the chimney, shoop, up out the chimney, shoop, back into their friend's chimney.
Yeah.
Back home in County Fife. So the wife gets home, and in the morning the husband asks her what she did, and she tells him the story.
Yeah.
And
she better be careful. Now she's stealing. Like, he might be okay with the witch stuff, but like...
Yeah. Well, so... Actually, this time he's really impressed, because if there's one thing that this man loves, it is wine.
Amazing.
So he's like, I would love to get in on that, actually. If you, is there any way that could you teach me the magic word so that I can go also drink this wine? Because it sounds like great wine, and I love wine. And she tells him, I can't tell you, because if you told other people the magic words, then... the world would just flip on its head. Like, people wouldn't want to work anymore. They'd just be flying off to other parts of the country and, stealing. Sneaking around and, no, nobody would ever have any peace, basically. So we need to keep this just between us witches,
Yeah.
So I can't tell you the magic word. I'm really sorry. And he is like, but wine. And she's like, no. And he's like, fine. So... another month passes. He's like, I'm going to find out how to get to this wine cellar, right? So, in the days leading up to the new moon, he starts hiding out outside of her friend's house where they always gather. And he hides out every single night. And finally, all of the witches convene in this house and they get ready to go back to the wine cellar. And he watches through the window as they all jump up on top of the cauldron and swoosh out the chimney.
Yeah.
And... he hears them say the magic word, so he waits until they're all gone up through the chimney, and then he sneaks into the house, and he jumps up on top of the cauldron, he says the magic words, and he shoots up out of the chimney after them. And they're not expecting anyone to follow them, so they don't look behind them to see him, flying along behind them in the air.
Oh, God.
So they get to the wine cellar, they get to the chimney in the Lord Bishop of Carlisle's house, and then... this guy comes out after them also, and they're like, what the fuck? How did you get here? Why are you here? And he's like, well, the important thing is that I am here. Let's get fucked up. And they're like, God damn it. All right. So they all sneak down into the wine cellar, and they all drink themselves silly on this fancy wine. Except the witches are careful, and they're like, we still need to get out of here in the morning. The husband is not smart.
Good God.
He is not careful. So he gets... monumentally fucked up. He gets so fucked up that he passes out on the floor of this wine cellar.
Oh, no.
And dawn starts creeping up, right? And the wife is like, you know what? That was nosy of him. Like,
Ooh.
he isn't... he knows that there's some things that I have to keep secret. And he went and he snuck around behind my back.
Yeah, can't
and
trust
he watched
him.
me and my friends. Yeah, and so she's like, I'm going to teach him a lesson. So she and all the witches go up out of the wine cellar, lock the door behind them, and go back out through the chimney.
Oh.
Several hours pass, and the servants of the bishop go and unlock the wine cellar to, tap some wine for the Lord's table.
Yeah. Breakfast wine.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they almost trip over this guy in the dark because he's just passed out on the floor of this wine cellar. And they're like, whoa, what the fuck? The door was locked. How did you get in here? And he is in a drunken haze.
Oh, no.
He's like, he does not even remember his own name at this point. So he basically he says the first thing that comes to mind, which is, he says, I came from Fife on the midnight wind. Which is true.
Yeah.
He's like, that's where I came from, and here's how I got here.
Yeah.
2 facts about me. And they're like, oh, that's cool. So you're a witch. And he's like, no. And they're like, no, but it sounds like you're a witch. He's like, no, I'm not a witch. And they're like, sounds like you're a witch. So they grab him by his arms, they drag him upstairs to the Lord Bishop, and they're like, this is what this guy said. And the Lord Bishop is like, yeah, sounds like he's a witch. Let's just go ahead and get this done. I got company coming for breakfast.
I've got a 2:00.
So the servants drag him outside into the courtyard, and they tie a chain around his waist, and they put stakes into the ground to hold him in place, and then they start building a pyre around him. And he is still hungover. He's like, what's happening? Why? And he's in that mode of being hungover where you're like, maybe I'll just die.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect time to be burned at the stake, to be honest.
And so he's like, this is how I die. And they light the fire under him, and he's like, well, goodbye, cool world. And then the story says, but when he thought that, he forgot completely that his wife was a witch.
Aww.
So the flames are just starting to lick at his ankles when he sees this massive gray bird swoop out of the sky, and then it swoops low and lands on his shoulder, and it lets out this nasty croak. Like a ugly bird croak. And everyone's like, oh, that's a gross bird. But to him, it is not the sound of a bird croaking. It is the sound of his wife's voice. And she says, hey, did you forget your wife was a witch? Here's the words you need to say. And she whispers magic words to him. And then the bird flies up and away. And everyone's like, that was an ugly-ass bird.
Weird.
And he almost jumps for joy, but then he's chained to the ground, so he can't really do it. And he repeats the words, and the chains fall off, and he mounts up into the air, up and up, and just shoots up in a column of smoke out of this pyre using the magic words that his wife told him. And all the people who were gathered for the witch burning are like, okay, so that was a witch. And he shoots up and off and back to County Fife, and he lands in his own chimney.
Yeah.
And the final line is, and when he found himself once more safely home, you may be very sure that he never tried to find out his wife's secrets again.
Yeah.
But left her to her own devices.
Good.
Yeah.
Love this.
So, yeah, he got back home safe and sound. In one edition.
Oh, no. I like that story. That was really sweet.
I liked it, too. There are 2 editions of this story. The 2 different publications of The Queen's Wake by James Hogg. In the 1813 edition, which is the first edition, he is burned alive for being a witch, because that's what he gets for being a witch. But one of his friends read them and was like, that's dark, dude. And he's like, yeah, you're right. So the 1819 edition, 6 years later, changed to he's rescued by his wife.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah, I like it a lot. This story, when I was trying to do some research, so I couldn't find literally anything about Elizabeth Grierson. Not anywhere.
Sure.
Don't know anything about her. But researching The Witches of Fife as a title, came across some historical background. This, again, the narrative poem by James Hogg was first published in 1812. From 1563 to 1736, there was a massive witch hunt throughout all of Scotland, all of Great Britain, all of everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's an article called The Witches of Fife on a website called Fabled Collective. They do a summary of the history of the witch trials in County Fife. So the Great Witch Hunt in Scotland lasted from March to October of 1597, spurred on by James VI. Over the course of 1563 to 1736, 4,000 people, it's estimated, were accused of being a witch, and 2/3 of them were executed.
Jesus.
Yeah. Huge slaughter over the course of that, 200-year period. Notable within that period, the Pittenweem witch trials, which were concurrent with the Paisley witch trials. All of these pamphlets were being distributed regarding the Paisley witch trials and describing this young girl who was possessed.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, oh my God, that's so crazy that... And it was describing the possession and her she's like, I can't sleep and the devil sits at the end of my bed and blah, blah, blah. Pittenweem, this man, read this pamphlet and coincidentally, 2 days later, got into a fight with an old lady who everyone thought was a witch, and he was like, I'm bewitched! Accused her, Beatrix Long, who was tortured over the course of months and months and months, released from prison, and then died of her injuries.
Jesus.
Then he went on to accuse Janet Cornfoot, who was...
Janet Cornfoot!
Yeah. She was accused, imprisoned, escaped, and then the people of the town found her and lynched her.
Jesus.
And Thomas Brown, accused of witchcraft, never brought to trial, starved in jail.
Oh my God.
So that's the Pittenweem witch trials in County Fife. And then
humans are the worst.
Yeah. Notable individuals, Margaret Aitken, April of 1597, accused of being a witch. And then was like, no, don't execute me. I can identify other witches by looking in their eyes.
Ooh.
So between April and August of 1597, she sent hundreds and hundreds of men and women to the stake by identifying them.
Oh my God.
Before someone was like, how do we know that she's not lying? And so the person who was bringing suspects to her had some people come in. She was like, they're witches. And then the next day, put them in different clothes and brought them in again. She was like, these ones are innocent. He's like, that's the same guy. She was like, nuts. So they burned her at the stake for not being a witch.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
Lilius 80, 1704, was an old woman who was accused of being a witch, never did anything wrong, but then was tortured so badly that she came up with all these fantastical stories about being a witch and everything like that. Yeah. Died in prison without trial. And also, County Fife is home to the Reverend Alan Logan, who was a witch pricker. Which, if you're familiar with the concept of a devil's mark, so in that period of the witch hunts, it was thought that witches had a devil's mark on them, which is a place where the devil touched them to seal their covenant, and that spot couldn't feel any pain. So witch prickers were these people who would come along with these long needles, and they would poke people accused of witchcraft all over their body to find a spot that didn't feel pain. But the science behind it is that if you prick the same spot enough times, it becomes desensitized. So they would just go over the same spot 4 times, and then on the 4th time, the accused witch wouldn't react, and they'd be like, aha, a witch!
Jesus Christ.
So he was one of the most well-traveled witch prickers in Scotland. So all of that is from County Fife, which is why The Witches of Fife is such an interesting story, because it's specifically about hey, no, they're fine.
Yeah,
they're just hanging out.
It ends with a fun, literally the witches win in the end.
Yeah, less than 100 years later, the premise of it is hey, leave witches alone.
It's interesting to me that the first edition of that story was everything's fine, they're having a great time, this is a silly story, but he does burn at the stake because fuck witches. And then the second edition is okay, I'm not going to change anything except that he doesn't burn at the stake. Yeah. That's interesting.
It is, especially because he's not one of the witches who's going around committing crimes. James Hogg has no problem with the witches breaking in and stealing all the wine. What he has a problem with is a nosy husband. And,
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's The Witches of Fife.
That was very fun and a very sobering end. Max said, I have a very fun and silly story for you.
It is a fun and silly story.
It is a fun and silly story. Good God, witch hunts are so fucking terrible.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, it was also really shocking to me that the witch hunts in Scotland went from the 1500s to the 1700s.
Yeah,
That's such a long stretch, and it's so long before the Salem witch trials that we think about here in the US and everything like that it is you would think that it would have settled down over the course of the 150 years.
No, it seems like it got worse.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was a delightful story though. I really like it. Yeah. I really love all of the descriptions of them, of what they did at night. That's the best. That's the best.
I love that she and her friends just went for a swim in the river, and then they climbed a mountain, and then they hung out with a weird little man who lived under a rock.
I also like how chill she was. She's all right, well, this is what we did last night. It was super fun.
Yeah, she's trying to include him in her life. He just goes and
ruins it.
Yeah, he was
Spoils
like,
sport.
mine. Nah. Which, yeah.
My name is Carl, and I hate you. Awesome. Good job.
Thanks.
Guys, we have merch. Go check it out. We have a Team Troll merch. We have Ragnarok. We have
The Black Flash.
Black Flash, which is a personal favorite of mine.
Also a personal favorite of mine.
We also have Rawhead and Bloody Bones, and I also put up our logo on there in case anybody wants our faces on their shirts. Or a sticker with our faces on it.
Weird.
Who knows?
Also, Unconfessed and Unblessed.
Unconfessed and Unblessed. Also, there's an episode 23, our April Fool's Day episode. We could go ahead and ruin it now because it's fine.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to it yet, our April Fool's Day episode, we, rather than telling actual real stories, just fairy tale-ized the story of Twilight and also New Moon. And then we made you guys listen to it for an hour.
You know, it's funny, because all of the comments coming in are people on Instagram being like, I didn't realize what you were doing until halfway through Janey's story. And I was like, first of all, I'm pretty sure I didn't hide it. You hid it almost too well.
Yeah.
I didn't hide it even a little bit. And so the fact that they got halfway through mine and they were like, wait a minute. I'm like, hey, you guys, you should have figured that out from moment one.
The werewolf wearing jorts rebuilding a motorbike.
Yeah, and
wasn't
they were like, this
tip
sounds
off.
so familiar. The fact that it's Earl, Betty, and John.
Yeah, I was so happy with how that episode turned out, and I'm so happy that you guys didn't figure it out immediately because it was so fun.
It's much more fun to get to the end and be like, wait!
Yeah, so fooled you idiots.
Yeah, fucking gotcha.
That's what you get for listening to us and enjoying our things.
But we have think twice next time, but we have a shirt now that says he isn't just her cool Native American friend who builds bikes and wears jorts. He's a werewolf. And I think it's very funny.
I like it a lot. Yeah, so that's it.
We have a bunch of stuff. /cpublic.com/users/sort of the story. Yeah, and then check out our TikTok, sort of the story. Check out our Instagram, sort of the story. Email us, sortofthestory@gmail.com. Just all the ways to get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Hang out with us.
And please rate and review. It would really help us out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Guys, have a good week.
Have a good week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Do you have any interesting facts to share with us today?
Oh, this is my nightmare.
Give us one interesting fact. Just give us an interesting fact. Max, something interesting. Max.
The horror toad in the Amazon rainforest breaks its own bones and shoves them through its skin like claws to defend itself.
Oh, Wolverine cursed toad.
Yeah. The horror toad.
That is horror.
Horrible?
Yeah. I'm very tired. I'm very tired. Okay, well, there you have it. The horrible toad.